Hello, I'm just going to show you how to do the wild 8 stitch, and I'm just going to show you this is something I made in it, and I called it the wild 8 because you can see all these 8s in it. A little bigger so you can see them. Yeah, I just see all these 8s in it. See, like that, laying on their side. Wild 8s laying on their side. So that's why I named it that. And then I'm just going to show you how to do the stitch. So I've got 3/4 inch gauge loom here. It's a Cindy Wood loom. And I've got some Rio King Cole Riot chunky yarn in the color Ocean. And it's acrylic wool yarn. I'm just going to find the end, and I'm just going to show you how to do the stitch. So it does curl a bit, so I need an edge that isn't going to curl. But I'm just going to do it from the start in case you want to make a scarf or something with this. So I'll do the cast on, and then if you want a cast on that works with cast off that works with this, it'll be on my channel since this is only going to be a stitch video. So I've got a slip knot. I put it on the first peg, and I'm just going to pull up the yarn and come over and just put the working, you're just putting a loop behind and casting on. If you need to see a longer cast on, I have this on my channel and then you can watch it, but it's just a stitch video, so I'm just getting it on the loom. And then when I start off this stitch, I want to have some kind of a base row as well as what I have here. So I'm just going to do owl eye back. So I'm on peg 1, I wrap peg 1 and 2, wrap peg 1 and 2, on peg 1, wrap peg 1 and 2. If you need to see the owl eye done more, I have a lot of owl eye pieces on my channel. But to do owl eye, you're on peg 1, you just wrap peg 1 and 2. And there we go. And then I'm just going to start doing the stitch. And on these pegs, whenever I start a row, I'm just doing knit. You can do whatever you want with your end pegs, but I wanted one that wouldn't curl, so I'm going to show you the one that I had used on projects that worked really well. And then so these will be the pegs that I do the stitches on to show you how to do the stitch, and those will just be my end pegs. So I just do owl eye the first row. So it's very easy. Owl eye on the first row. And I just go to the end. And then to get a side that didn't curl, I just purl the last 2 pegs at the end of a row. And then I just come back with knit. I like the way this particular kind of end worked with this stitch. Now row 2, I do a double E wrap. So that's all there is to it. Row 1 is owl eye, row 2 is a double E wrap. So you go around and E wrap the peg. You come back around and E wrap it again. That's all there is to double E wrap. E wrap it, come around, E wrap it again. E wrap it, come around, E wrap it again. E wrap it, E wrap it again. Double E wrap. Then I come over to these pegs, and so I'm just going to do this particular end, and I'm just going to purl it over, and I'm going to come and do this one and purl it over, and then come back and knit these 2 over, and then do owl eye again. And that's all there is to it. Do owl eye for a row, and then do double E wrap for a row. Why would you want to do this stitch? Well, double E wrap is a nice stitch, but it's quite a loose, lacy stitch. So if you want your stitch to be a little tighter than that, That would be one reason. If you want to stitch like a if you want to, whoopsie, this should have been pearl. If you want a stitch that's a little looser than owl eye, then this one is a little looser than owl eye. So it's kind of right in the middle. And it's a pretty stitch. In the piece I showed you, it was a cowl. I did that as a flat panel. And then I attached the ends. I decided not to do it in the round because if you were to do it in the round, you would get a jog because you would be going from owl eye and then when you came around again to do the double E-wrap on the peg where you changed the stitch, there's quite a difference in the stitches. So you'd have a bit of a jog. So it'd work good in a slouch hat in the round because you wouldn't see it at the back. But in a cowl, you would on me when I wore a ponytail. So I decided that I wasn't going to do it. I was going to do the cowl as a flat panel and attach it. I called it the Wild 8 because of the 8s, of course. And it's quite a nice stitch. So if you look at it, it has a bit of lace to it, but it's not as lacy as the figure 8, and it's tighter than the owl eye, and you get this really nice pattern happening in here. It's quite pretty. So with this yarn, it's going to look a little different, but you can see it's starting to come in here. And that's all there is to it. That's how you do the stitch. I will do a few more rows so you can see what it looks like in a yarn like this that has more of a solid color. And then we'll catch up. Okay, I've done a few more rows so you can see what it looks like, and I will kind of push it in because of course it's stretched out on the end of the loom. And there you go, you can see how it looks like. It's got pretty kind of patterning in it. And then here on the end you just see the owl eye and the cast on. And the cast on looks like this on the sides. And the ends, the way I'm doing it, just look like that on each end. Oop. There. Just like that. And the back, here's the back. The back looks like this. So that's all there is to it. And there you see what I call the Wild 8s. Put my finger there. It's these two 8s there. Here there's two 8s. Or there's two pieces of the 8. And there you can see the 8 going that way too. So that's why I called it Wild 8s. Crazy 8s was gone. So it's a nice stitch. If you were planning on making a scarf, it's a fairly lacy stitch. If we look at it on this one again, where we can see more of the pattern. You can really see the pattern coming out compared to just this little bit we did, and it really shows up on here with the type. I really love this yarn. This is Mary Maxim Studio yarn. They no longer make it. So if you're lucky enough to get it, it was a beautiful yarn. But you can see just how pretty the stitch is in a bigger piece. And it looks good upside down too. And the inside of a bigger piece, you can see what it looks like. And actually, yeah, we're looking at it sideways because this is the way, the right way, because I did. And so we can look at it from all angles. You can just see what it looks like. It looks good every direction. So there you go. You can see what it looks like. Now for the cast off, on my YouTube channel, I have the cast off that goes with this bind on if you were going to do a scarf or a shawl, and you would just cast on more stitches if you were going to do that. And if you wanted to do a cowl, a flat cowl, and attach it, I do have a video on this cowl. If it's not there when the stitch video is on, it will be soon after. So I'll show you how to make this cowl. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and until next time, we will see you.